Okay. Just hit the button, waiting for the red bar. Waiting. Should be up. All right. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Huh? Yeah. I can
And
hear
my
you
sleeves
just
are rolled
fine.
up. That means business.
Oh, that does mean. Hey, I'm with you.
Oh, yep.
All right. So I can hear you, and let's make this happen. Are you ready, sir?
Ready.
Okay. Welcome to Just Curious Media. This is That's a Crime. I'm Jason Connell.
And I'm Sal Rodriguez.
All right, Sal, we are back for another fan appreciation episode, volume 3.
Yeah, and you know what? This is what is it? A welcomed episode. You know why? Because last episode was rough.
It was rough.
It was rough. You know, I mean, I'm a grown man, but it was rough.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a nice one. This is a happy one.
Yeah. No, this is a great episode. I look forward to fan appreciation episodes for sure. You were referring to woman stalked and stabbed to death in her New York City apartment, 2022. Tragic,
Yep.
but we cover all things from misdemeanor to a murder.
Yes.
And that was a very important story, and we hope it brings change in the world.
Yes.
So I'm glad we did. But you're right. We come out of that, and then I have to go edit it. So trust me, I'm in there even longer. I know it's tough.
Yeah.
But we did it, and I felt like it was time to do another fan appreciation episode. I'm saying it so fast, I'm getting caught on it. But we did one last month. There was a wonderful Apple 5-star review that came through, and it had some other news. I was like, well, this is a good moment of pause. I like to do these monthly, or it could be every other month, or sometimes we don't do one for 6 months, but when it's time, it's time. And tonight is that time.
Yeah. You know what? In the beginning, when you first brought the whole idea of fan appreciation to my attention, I was like, it's going to sound like we're tooting our own horns.
Yeah.
But you know what? No. No. It's our listeners reaching out to us and us reaching back is what it is. It's a communication is what it is. And I've definitely, for fan appreciation, I now appreciate fan appreciation.
Wow. You come full circle.
Wow.
So before we jump in, a word from our sponsor.
Yes.
Support for That's a Crime is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming and offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, and with this exclusive offer, you'll get
20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code That's a Crime at manscaped.com.
Very good. I was getting kind of excited by Manscaped. It's like, hey, we should get them as a sponsor. Then I stumble. I'm
overdue to Manscaped.
Oh, okay.
To Manscaped. I'm overdue to Manscaped with Manscaped.
TMI. So tonight, as I mentioned, we have a wonderful Apple 5-star review, and it came in February 2022, and it's just one. But again, we have some other things we want to share with our fans, and I think it's a great platform to do so rather than just social media, and some really exciting news at that. But let's jump in on this wonderful review. And this person, Sal, recently left another 5-star review, Apple Podcast review on Let's Talk Cobra Kai. And we are due for a fan appreciation on that show as well. So they're going to get double billing. That's great. Kudos to them. I mean, it's hard to write a review. They've done now 2, one on each show, 2 of our shows. And that's fantastic.
You know how I feel? I feel like people who listen to That's a Crime know that we host Let's Talk Cobra Kai.
I would hope.
But I don't know for certain that people that listen to Let's Talk Cobra Kai know that we host That's a Crime.
Well, they could know. We've done teaser episodes, and yes, we probably should pump it a little bit more, but not in a bad way, but in a, just like hey, here you go. You want this? You got a little something extra just to ease them into it. But we've done a little bit of that, and we probably should do more. But social media, and if you go to justcuriousmedia.com, as we say at the end of every episode, they'd see all of the shows, which includes Let's Talk Movies and more to come. Trust me on that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Jason, you are a busy man. I know.
So here we are. We're going to jump in and we're going to break it up. I'll say some, you say some, because they left us a really great review and
Yeah.
long enough for us both to be a part of it.
It almost, you know, reading these 5-star reviews,
Yep.
it makes me start to chop onions. Is what it does.
Look at him.
It does.
So this comes in from random 5, and it's 7 zeros after that. So it's
Wow.
5000000. Now I know you could think, hey, is that my name or am I 6 zeros? Or you were saying earlier you'd forget. You were like, wait, hang on a second.
Yeah.
You might forget your own handle, but they have not.
Yeah, that's a lot of zeros.
That's a lot of zeros.
I hope random 5000000. I hope you remember that is 7 zeros and you do not forget. Otherwise, logging into your social media would be an issue.
That's true. Yeah, well, maybe it's money they have in their account. So,
nice.
50 million.
I wonder if it's crypto.
Maybe it's crypto. So they start with the subject line, the podcast I didn't know I was missing.
Wow.
Love that.
Yeah.
And then they jump in. I checked this podcast out because it's from the guys who do Let's Talk Cobra Kai. And I absolutely love that podcast. So why not check this one out? To you, sir?
I absolutely love this and am eager to learn more and go researching more because my desire to learn more rises to the top after hearing the show. Keep up the wonderful work. It's very nice. Yeah, you're going to go on deep dives after hearing our show. You know, speaking of true crime, one thing I always talk about when discussing crime or film is a movie called The Changeling with Angelina Jolie.
Great movie. Clint Eastwood.
He directed that?
Yeah.
Holy cow, I forgot. Okay. So that movie took me on a deep dive afterward.
Oh, yeah.
So since then, I've developed a greater appreciation for going on deep dives. So now here, a random 5000000. Yeah, you go on a deep dive after hearing our podcast. Totally makes sense, and I totally can relate.
Yeah. No, it makes me very happy to hear this because, again, our show is not, breaking ground. There are a lot of true crime podcasts, maybe too many.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to learn more, have a reason to talk about something, but yet do it a little bit differently as we do. We do lighter stuff. We do crypto crimes. We do, bank robberies, heist, love heists. I love heist movies and I love heist. And then you've got to get into the
fantasize about a heist. I do.
Oh my gosh. And how you would pull it off. It's like a good David Mamet film.
What I do.
So yeah, this is wonderful to hear because this is all we want to do. We want to present more entertainment, our style, which I knew would work, to the true crime genre. Yeah. And that's wonderful. And if more people follow us because of this, then that's great. And again, like I said, the last episode we did was one we want more people to become aware of because that type of crime and those like that can help, provoke change. So not that we're doing, we're not doing all the heavy lifting, but we love what we're doing. And it's fun to do this research. It's fun to sit down with you and record it. And it's a lot of fun to edit and produce and put it out there in the world. And then we move on to the next one. And we take this moment to do an occasional fan appreciation show, which kind of helps us reset.
Yeah. You know what? It's kind of an interesting concept because on one hand, I look forward to That's a Crime.
Right.
On the other hand, I'm like, oh, great, more crimes. Like they never end. It is an endless escalator of it never stops. There's always crimes.
Yeah, that's true. And now something else I want to pivot. So thank you again, random 5000000. I couldn't be more happy and proud of your kind words and your loyalship to this show as well as Let's Talk Cobra Kai. And we will definitely sing your praises on the next Let's Talk Cobra Kai fan appreciation episode. But you want to say anything, Sal, before we pivot?
No, just a big thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you for the great 5-star review. Thanks for the comments. We totally appreciate it. Thank you, random 5.
We got it.
7 zeros.
So now we're pivoting to, I was calling this like the show fan accomplishments, because I can't just say it's the show. It's only because of the fans and us showing up to do the show. But over the last 5 months, and that would be, Sal, do you want to take this?
Would that be October, November, December, and that's of 2021?
Mhm.
Okay, October, November, December of 2021, then January and February of 2022.
Correct.
2022.
Those last 5 months that Sal just hit on, we have set new highs, new records for downloads each month, meaning
Nice.
October was our all-time high, November trumped that,
Ooh.
and so on and so on and so
Wait,
on.
wait, you mean we keep getting more
Yeah,
downloads?
it's accelerating.
Wow.
And
Nice.
I'm not like, hey, we're not getting millions of downloads, but it's like, wow, it's so great to see that trajectory on the upswing. It makes me so happy. I love numbers. I love looking at this. And it all happened when we really, well, I got moved and got settled, and we kind of said, okay, it's a weekly show, because we had a bit of a gap, and that happens sometimes with shows. You take breaks, you do another season, but we came back in September, and then October just growing. And I think we've had some really great shows in that run, but I'm so proud of our fans for not just tuning in, but stayed tuning in. Obviously the retainment's been great, and we've gotten some new fans. So kudos to all of you listening. We couldn't be more proud, and we wouldn't have these record months without you.
Yeah, and like I've mentioned before, Jason, to you and to our listeners, I am very proud of Let's Talk Cobra Kai. Very proud of what we've done.
Yeah.
And it took me a little bit of time, and then I turned my head back and I realized, you know what? I'm proud of That's a Crime too. It took some time though. We had to develop a catalog.
Yes.
We had to get comfortable with the genre.
Yep. Yeah.
Talking about things other than Karate Kid and Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now I look back and go, you know what? I'm very proud of That's a Crime as well.
That's mine. Great to hear that. Yeah, we're over episode 30 now. We're in the 30s, which is great. I mean, we are about to hit literally very soon our 100th episode of Let's Talk Cobra Kai. We know what that took to get there. It's like, wow, we're already at the 30 clip. And, you look up and it's like, wow, my gosh. And yeah, we've brought new layers in. We're doing YouTube live now, which kind of spooked you a little bit when I threw that one at you.
I could use a little makeup. I think I could use a little under eye makeup here.
No. It's another thing to juggle, but we just keep pushing the envelope. And so, yeah, I'm so proud of that. So again, kudos, fan. This is your appreciation episode, volume 3. And this is us, giving you your thanks, because that's wonderful to see. And listen, we don't just do it for that, but it's great to know people are listening. They're tuning in, and it makes us want to just keep coming back.
Yeah. Otherwise it's just two buddies chatting.
Yeah. And we do that anyway.
Well, two buddies chatting is great and all, but we don't necessarily need to record that. You know what I mean? The fact that we are two buddies chatting and there are people listening, believe me, I'm besides myself. I'm very flattered and honored.
That was going to be the title of the show, Sal, initially.
Flattered and honored.
Two buddies chatting.
I like it. Yeah. Yeah. I need like a coffee mug, I think.
Exactly. So now we're just going to hit on a few episodes, because I think during this growth, I had to learn too. It's like, wow, what do we cover? Because you were even like, what are we going to do early on? I'm talking like our first couple episodes. We did start everything off with a bang with, go ahead and say it, Sal. Our first episode ever.
DB Cooper. I still think of DB Cooper as our flagship, not only because it's our premiere episode of That's a Crime, but because to this day, the most ultimate heist.
It's incredible. It's a high bar to set. And when we did it, we were still in a developmental stage. Like, we did it, I edited it, finally had you listen to it, but we were so in the middle of season 3 of Let's Talk Cobra Kai, we weren't even rushing the show out. And then I finally took a month or so off, listened to it fresh, and was like, we have something here. But so we loved it. That episode's out there, but then it's like, now what? Right? It was like, what are we gonna do now? And I remember you were like, how about this other crime? And we had to get a rhythm. And it's like, I went with the crimes that I knew of. And now we've also, which I but I want to cover, pre-existing crimes, older crimes. But then it was like, oh, wait a second. There, like you said a minute ago, there's new crimes happening all the time.
Oh yeah.
And so it doesn't have the history, but it kind of makes you more current. And I'm still reading about it. It's like, this is fascinating. Sal's going to freak out. So we're really kind of a hybrid. We're nimble. We can pivot to different things. And I'm very proud of that. We're not like set in our ways. It's like, nothing's off limits, if you will.
No. Unfortunately, nothing's off limits because some things are ultimately tragic.
Yes,
innocent people being harmed, being murdered. you know, it can be difficult to listen to and to cover. Absolutely.
Oh, no.
So then that's why an episode like this is an absolute reprieve.
Yes, it is.
And we have, I don't know, it's sort of like peaks and valleys of, you know, the horrific to the fun and
the fun
celebratory, right? Like this one. Yeah.
Y-
Like, and when you mentioned early on That's a Crime, you mentioned the Lindbergh baby.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. My mother used to talk about that when I was being raised
Scared you guys
in the
straight.
80s. My mother would talk about the Lindbergh baby and tell us, her kids, it was this abuse. I don't know. She would tell her kids what happened to the Lindbergh baby, and let's make sure that doesn't happen to us, right?
Yeah.
Let's make sure we don't get kidnapped.
You're like, Mom, we're not wealthy.
How much ransom are they going to get? Let's be honest here.
Come on.
You drive a Yugo. What are we going to do here?
Yeah, that actually was our 10th episode, Lindbergh baby kidnapping, 1932. I learned more than I ever knew. And that's our longest episode to date, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
And again, I was building to that to be our 10th. But we were still trying to figure it out. And I was reading crimes. It's like, do they all need to be well known? And like you just said, sadder ones are tough. We had to figure out that cadence as well, because that's the tone's different. There's not as much, because we're very respectful. There's not any comedy in that type of show. It's just it's heavy. There's a mood, but you're giving respect to whoever passed away, if that is what happened.
Sure.
But just the crime in general. But I like that. It helps you, I don't know, you're kind of challenging yourself. You're flexing different muscles. And I've learned a lot from it. It's like, wow, it's given us confidence to do more. So why don't we just hit on some of the episodes from the past? I just pulled some random ones here.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go into them, but these are just some of the different things that we covered. Go ahead and say the first one. We can just ping pong back and forth there.
Oh, yeah. Hollywood actor runs $650 million Ponzi scheme from 2021.
Well, that was a crazy one. I'll tell you.
That might have made me just a little bit envious. Just a little bit. The fact that he was able to pull it off. The fact that he pulled it off.
$50 million. Yeah. I highly recommend it. That was very recent. It was the one before the most recent one. I couldn't believe it. It popped up on my radar. And, you know, having been in Hollywood for so long, Sal, you have always been there. It's like, this happened right here underneath our noses. And great episode. Highly recommend it. And then there was also hackers still 30 million in Bitcoin and Ethereum from crypto.com, all of 2022. So that was amazing. I mean, I'm really into crypto and seeing how things are changing and evolving. To learn, I didn't know this, that the Staples Center is now the crypto.com arena. Wait, what? This is getting big, Sal. And when something gets big, well, hackers and crooks come a running.
Yeah, I think we're all led to believe that what's going on with Russia and Ukraine will lead to more hacking.
Yeah, and also made the value go up for a minute, but it's so volatile. You know, Elon Musk does a tweet and it goes up. So yeah, it absolutely could.
I just realized you saying that reminds me of Elon Musk is the new E.F. Hutton. Remember E.F. Hutton?
Yeah. Oh yeah. When he speaks, we all kind of lean in and listen.
There you go.
So what's the next one on our hit list? Only a few here, folks. Only a few. But you should check out all of these episodes for sure.
Killer writes best-selling crime novel from 2007. From 2007.
This was a instant classic, Sal. I gotta say.
Yeah.
Not us.
It was good.
You know why? Sharing. It's crazy.
No, you know why? Because it would kind of make for a good, almost like a Stephen King creepy horror movie.
Totally. And it also just really evokes like, wait, what's that? You know, it's an eye catcher. It's it's clickbait.
Yeah, it is clickbait. Also, what I always say, and this is, you know, any fan of true crime would have to agree with this. So many people, incriminate themselves.
Yes.
They tattletale on themselves is what they do. And then they get caught. That's a perfect example.
It's the ultimate one.
Yeah, this guy, he should have just put the pen down, put the typewriter down, shut his mouth. He could have probably lived free.
Yeah, please check that out if you haven't. And if you have, maybe revisit it. There was nearly an update episode for this. I
Yes,
nearly
yes.
did. And I'm not saying there couldn't be. There still could be. Some of our crimes, they're so fresh or they're older and things pivot. But there was going to be a Christopher Waltz movie who won 2 Oscars and 2 Tarantino films. He's fantastic, wonderful, wonderful actor. But that movie didn't come to be. And this happens in Hollywood, hey, we got this person and this team. I think, Brett Ratner was supposed to direct or whatever, but it fell out of favor. And then there was a movie with Jim Carrey, which I haven't seen yet, but it was shot in Poland, I believe. So if we ever have a reason to come back and say, oh, I saw this or this happened in the crime, then we will do an update episode, which is also kind of fun. We've only done one to date, and we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I'm anticipating more of that to happen. But this crime, it should be a movie. I know it has been, but it should almost be a bigger Hollywood movie because it's just that type of tale.
Yeah. I think it's got a little something for everyone.
Yes. And Christopher Waltz, I believe he won for Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained. So
yeah, no, he's good.
He's incredible.
Yeah, no, that happens a lot. There's been a lot of movies that were going to happen. I always reference.
My gosh, of course.
I reference. Who was it? Who was going to be Superman? There's even a picture of him wearing the Superman suit.
Oh, it was Nick Cage.
Yes, Nick Cage was going to play Superman at one time.
I think Kevin Smith wrote the script, and then it just didn't happen.
Well,
listen, to bring it back around, my documentary that I produced, Holy Rollers, the true story of. I'm combining Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Holy Rollers, the true story of card counting Christians. Great documentary. We told the story. We followed the largest card counting team in America. They were all card counters, and they were all Christians. And it's a great, fun documentary. Came so close to becoming a feature film.
Wow.
And it would just be like, I'd have meetings at Fox, or we had an A-list director, Seth Gordon, attached to it at one point in time, or he was really interested. And, I've got to know him pretty well. And it's like, oh, well, no, I'm doing this big movie instead, Identity Thief and For Christmases. It's like, he did the new Baywatch, but it was like, you're that close. And then it's like nothing. And that's the part of Hollywood that's just rough. That's why I was always just cranking out things. You got to stay busy. I can't hope your ship comes in, but it's that close. And I think that this story, though, really deserves it. And it's not too late. I mean, this type of story lasts a lifetime. It's stranger than fiction.
Yeah, I think it's still relevant.
So next we have, and this is a sad one, Henry Ruggs III, fatal car crash of 2021. He's the Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver who was going incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Ran into a car. Back, back end, just slammed into the back end. Yeah. Explosion, kills this young woman and her dog. Oh. He lives, and he's obviously distraught, out of the league. So this will definitely warrant an update episode. What happens to him, what happens to this trial and this, that, and the other in his career. And we obviously talked about the victims a lot in these types of cases. Yeah. And I've gone back and put the GoFundMes when there are one in the show notes.
Oh, good.
Same
with
last
That's
week.
very good.
We talk about it, but
yeah.
And some GoFundMes and they hit their money, but they just tell people what other foundations they should help.
Yes. Yeah, really there's not an end. I mean, it keeps going. I mean, the spirit of the person keeps
right, but they're not trying to collect more money. They're just saying, well, hey, thank you, and maybe you would think about helping these. So we do that, and I think that this one could definitely warrant an update, like I just said. But I also think it's worth listening to. We cover the facts, what happened, and those are the tough ones. That was a really, really tough one to get through, but I think very important and timely. And it was covered on a wide stage by so many outlets because of you're talking about sports celebrity. It's a tragic death.
Not only a tragic death, yes, that's the obvious thing, but also these people who are in these enviable positions,
right?
Like the Aaron Hernandezes,
Yep.
They're in these fantastic positions that people would die for. They would sell, everything to be in those and they just throw it away. Throw it away.
I know.
That's another secondary
that's
tragedy.
A crime. That's a crime in itself.
That's a crime in itself. Yeah.
So do the next one. We only have 2 more. So go ahead.
Man dismembered parents for discovering he didn't work at SpaceX of 2021. The title alone of that is so crazy. This guy tells everybody he's going to work for Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
And it's all a lie. And then when they find out,
he kills his
parents. Oh boy, that crazy story.
Yeah, the title is catchy, and that's how I came across it. Worded a little bit differently, and I was like, okay, but you think, a little playful, but it's like beyond. You can't even comprehend what happened here, and it's worth listening to. And this case is so new that the verdict just came in recently, and the sentencing is supposed to happen this week.
Whoa.
I was going to see if it was, and I would maybe move this up the ranks to do an update sooner, but it is happening this week. I even read that he doesn't want to come to the sentencing. And that was the talk as of like yesterday. So it's supposed to happen this week. So we, at some point in time, will come back and just update our fans on the situation. This guy's obviously not all there, Sal.
hang on, Jason. You can not attend your own sentencing?
It started to talk about like the last time that has been invoked. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm waiting till we come back and have all the facts and we will talk about that.
That's crazy. Yeah. I want to revisit that again. I do, because this falls under the category of what you and I have discussed at least once. And that is, a lot of true crime shows, they go over the serial killers.
Yeah.
Fine. Believe me, I have no shortage of videos and articles I've read about Bundy and Gacy and all that. But these people who just kill suddenly, spontaneously,
scary,
these one-off murders.
Yep.
That's, I think, because then you look around you, you're like, holy cow, how many of these people are around me in my city can possibly do something like that?
And he kills his parents. Oh, so if he can kill your parents and then just be like, hey, whatever, try to hide the crime. Wow, that's a very scary individual we're dealing with there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the last one we're going to talk about, and again, this is a fan appreciation episode. I'm loving stumbling on that, but these are some of the things that our fans can go back and revisit. Maybe they're a new fan and they haven't gone back the old Rolodex and seen the old ones, or, it's just a reason to go visit it again, much like the Let's Talk Movies motto. But this last one is kind of where it all started. But it was to date, our first and only update episode. And that is DB Cooper Hijack Heist 1971. It's a tongue-in-cheek update. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. There wasn't new information. There could be another update to the update, because there are teams out there looking for the money, looking for what happened. This case continues on. But our update was highlighted I was informed by a fan who said that Loki of Thor, his brother, half-brother, whatever, was truly Dan Cooper, also known as DB Cooper. And they did a whole thing on the Loki TV series. So we had fun with that. So it is a very fun episode, but not a true update, if you will.
No, but it is an update. Not an official update.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, like I said, it's a tongue-in-cheek, but very neat to see. I mean, if you listen to the DB Cooper episode on That's a Crime, go and find this video.
It was in season 1, episode 1.
And you will appreciate it. You will appreciate it.
Yeah, we break it down, that little part of the show, and we have a lot of fun with it. So that's it. There's some great episodes, just some highlights. I mean, next time we do one of these, we'll highlight 5 or 6 other ones. But lastly, I also wanted to say, a couple things. About the YouTube Live that came into play. We launched that, Sal, October 29th, 2021. And we have now done 20 episodes on YouTube Live, which is almost more than without, which is weird to think. But, we've been doing the show. I really have enjoyed it. It is a different thing. We're reaching a different audience. There are people that just consume podcasting on YouTube Live. I don't. I like to walk around and be more of a passive listener, walk Nico, my dog, or work out. But there are those, and you have to cater to all and go where your audience is.
Yeah, it's true. People have their habits. People have their rituals.
Yep.
They listen this way. They listen at these times. I know I do. I'll tell you right when I listen to podcasts. I listen to podcasts when I'm cleaning. or driving.
If
I'm cleaning or driving, I'm all about listening to podcasts. And guess what? If I'm listening at night, different than if I'm listening in the day, I have my rituals. I do.
Yes,
so yeah, I assume that everybody does. Everybody listens a certain way at certain times.
I agree. Yeah, I know when you go on road trips, you're like, as soon as you stop, wherever you get whenever you get where you're going, and it could just be a road trip in Los Angeles, mind you, 45-minute commute. You're like, hey, I listened to that episode. I loved it. You're giving me the recap because you finally could consume them, which is great.
Yeah. No, if I know like, okay, I'm going to be driving for this long, I don't have any phone calls to make.
Yeah.
And I almost carve out a segment of that. Okay, now is a good time. And that's why I do appreciate podcasts of varying lengths.
Yes.
Because the drive may be 20 minutes. I'm going to listen to a 20-minute podcast. The drive may be 2 hours. I'm going to listen to a 2-hour podcast. That's the way it works. Down. I do it. I listen to podcasts as well. I am a podcast fan myself.
Love it. As am I. So quickly, Sal, on the YouTube live front, tell people what they need to do if you're a fan there. You want to get, informed. You want to know when we're doing a new episode. So please, because you're a pro.
Yeah. Well, one thing you have to do on YouTube is you have to subscribe. You have to subscribe to the That's a Crime YouTube channel. Now, I know you and I often say the YouTube live channel, but it is the YouTube channel that we go live on.
Yeah, that's correct.
You subscribe to the YouTube channel, That's a Crime, and then you hit the little bell, and that gives you notifications. Yep. So it lets you know when we have any messages to deliver, anything upcoming, anything to look forward to. Make sure you are a subscriber, and make sure you hit that bell and you get the notifications so that you are notified not only through how you get your podcasts, but also on YouTube itself.
That's it. And you find this by going to YouTube and just typing in That's a Crime podcast or That's a Crime. But that might, you might see our logo there, but I love people to go to our website, Sal, because we have a direct link on it.
That's how I start. I myself go to justcuriousmedia.com.
Yep.
And then I see our shows, and then I'll click on YouTube Live.
Yeah. Each show has its own link there. It's just a safe place to find it. It's also in every episode's show notes now.
Oh, wow.
So you just go to our show notes, click a button, wherever you want to find us. But there's lots of ways to get there. And lastly, our Facebook and Instagram, Sal. We have a new handle. We have content now that's going out to kind of highlight every single episode. I'm still behind. I'm catching up. And then every new episode has at least some piece of artwork and some sort of reminder. But Sal, what is that handle?
For Facebook and Instagram, both, that would be That's a Crime Podcast. And that's all one word. That's a Crime Podcast.
Perfect. We've done it, sir. We've covered it.
I think we have.
Yeah,
I think we have. Yeah, this has been a very special episode. I for me, appreciate it, especially, we do cover heavy things. So I appreciate when we go down, we can go down an episode like this with a smile on our face. Nobody's life was cut short. So I appreciate that.
And when we have more 5-star reviews, so we probably would peel back and not share as many episodes, but it's fun just to kind of make it a mashup and bring some of that in, just more stuff for the fans. And again, reach out to us. If you can't handle, or you're not an Apple person and you don't want to go do a review, even just contacting us, like Moose on Instagram sent me that information. And that's how I even knew about the DB Cooper thing on Loki. So it was like, wow, that's so cool. Thank you. And they, and I, obviously wrote them back and was very, happy to do so. So I love that as well. If you want to sing our praises, if it's negative, maybe not, maybe just save that for another show. We're really positive. We put a lot of energy into this, and we just want to keep giving, those back.
Hey, I'm just thinking, like, if anybody doesn't like a podcast,
just go down the road.
You just go to another podcast.
There's more podcasts.
What's the point of leaving like negative? What's the point of doing that?
Why do you guys exist?
But that's how I am. Even like Yelp, like if I don't like the restaurant, I just don't go back. That's it.
I don't give my business. I go somewhere else. I also want to say Moose, because I didn't do this on the episode. Moose's handle, might as well, is nuts. Oh, nuts so good. Nuts so good at nuts so good. So there you go. NUTSOGOOD. But hey, props to Moose. And more, reach out to us. You can find me and Sal on our own social media. I get messages all over the place. It's not in one place. It's like, but I love that. And you know what? Even if it's not a 5-star review and it's like just some praise, or you enjoyed one thing or a certain aspect, it may wind up on a fan appreciation episode.
Yes,
so,
that's
so
true.
there is that. It doesn't have to only be a review on Apple's, platform. So keep that in mind.
But that just goes to show our listeners how much we appreciate the feedback, the commentary, the reviews, the 5-star ratings. We appreciate those things so much that we're willing to put you on an episode.
Yes. And Sal's willing to pay for those things too.
I'm selling. See these toys? I'm selling these toys.
He's liquidating everything. Well, that's all I got, buddy. So unless you have anything else to add, we can wrap it up.
No, that was good. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Jason. And looking forward to and very curious, just curious to see what the next episode of That's a Crime will be after this one.
Yeah, I have a funny idea. I know what it is, but again, thank you, random 5000000. Hit it.
Thank you.
So unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
And get 20% off and free shipping with the code thatsacrime at manscaped.com.
So thank you so much for listening. And please be sure to subscribe to the That's a Crime podcast, as well as the That's a Crime YouTube live channel. You can also really help us by giving the show a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast.
And for all you listeners that enjoy sharing your thoughts, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, send us a direct message, or post a comment on any That's a Crime social media platform.
We also highly recommend checking out our other podcast and visiting justcuriousmedia.com. Great job.
Thank you.